Menteri Energi dan Sumber Daya Mineral, Pak Arifin Tasrif ini mengungkapkan capaian pendapatan negara bukan pajak dari sektor ESDM. Tercatat ada sumbangan PNBP-nya sebesar 300,3 triliun sepanjang tahun lalu. Realisasi angka ini tercatat meningkat 116% dari target yang ditetapkan sebelumnya sebesar 259,2 triliun rupiah. Nah, secara detail komoditas mineral dan batu bara menjadi kontributor paling besar dengan 173 triliun rupiah. Seperti apa reviewnya di tahun 2023, Pak? Apakah pendapatan tersebut sudah sesuai dengan target ESDM?
Ya, terima kasih. Dalam 2 tahun terakhir ini, yaitu 2022 dan 2023, PNBP dari subsektor minerba memang telah melebihi ya, dari target, dan juga kalau kita bandingkan dengan sektor migas sudah lebih tinggi. Di tahun 2022, PNBP minerba mencapai 183,5 triliun, sementara migas sekitar 148,7 triliun. Begitu juga pada tahun 2023, minerba menyumbang yang seperti disampaikan tadi sebesar 173 triliun, sementara migas mencapai 117 triliun. Nah, PNBP minerba ini yang sudah melebihi target terbesar berasal dari royalti batubara yang mencapai kurang lebih 80% dari total royalti minerba. Ya, sementara sisanya berasal dari royalti mineral. Jadi peningkatan PNBP minerba ini diakibatkan dari meningkatnya harga batubara yang pada tahun 2022 mencapai rata-rata 276,8 dolar per ton, dan naiknya harga batubara di tahun itu sebagai akibat demand yang tinggi, di mana ada pengaruh antara lain perang Ukraina Rusia dan pengaruh konsumsi dari negara-negara Asia, di mana sebagian negara kesulitan pasokan gas dari Rusia sehingga mengalihkan penggunaan energinya ke batu bara. Nah, pada tahun 2023, PNBP minerba memang mengalami penurunan di tahun 2022, mengingat penurunan harga batu bara rata-rata menjadi 201,4 dolar per ton. Itulah kira-kira gambaran yang kita capai di tahun 2023 ini.
Ya, apakah itu semua sudah sesuai, Pak, dengan target ESDM mulanya?
Bahkan sudah melebihi dari target yang ditetapkan oleh pemerintah, ya, dari Kementerian SDM. Jadi kalau kita memang lihat tadi sudah ada kenaikan seperti yang disebutkan tadi sekitar 116% dari target yang ditetapkan sebelumnya.
Ya. Apakah kemudian secara detail komoditas minerba ini menjadi kontributor paling besar? Apakah itu juga sudah diproyeksikan sebelumnya?
Memang demikian, jadi memang hal-hal tersebut sudah dievaluasi dari semua RKAB yang masuk dari perusahaan-perusahaan yang ada di minerba, kemudian membandingkan dengan ramalan dari global percaturan antara supply demand antara semua komoditas khususnya batu bara, dan juga perkiraan harga yang terjadi.
Oke, baik Pak Irwandi. Saya ingin beralih ke Pak Dilip Srivastava dari Bumi Resources. Mr. Dilip, from the business perspective, how was Bumi's performance and revenue last year? Did it meet the targets?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me here. And I would like to say hello to Pa Irwandi.
Terima kasih, Pak.
And a very happy new year to you all.
Yes.
We hope it will be a much more prosperous new year than last year. To answer your question very specifically, 2022 was a very peculiar year. It was unique in many ways. We saw the geopolitics, we saw the gas prices hitting the roof, and we saw coal prices crossing $400. Now this compares with $48 of the coal price in 2016. 2023, we saw, following the lesser effect of the pandemic, we saw a spike in demand. And the spike in demand largely came from China and to some extent from India. And definitely there was a pickup in supply from Indonesia as well. Now, when we look at all the geopolitical factors and the supply demand factors, what we found was that the coal prices tended to lower down, and they came down from levels of around 200, around 250, and they are currently running at around 130, 140, 120 to 140. And when we are looking at the forward curves for coal for 2024 and 2025, based on current situation, I think the consensus appears to be more in the region of 130. But we must remember that coal and production of coal is dependent on many imponderables over which we may not have much control, such as weather, such as infrastructure, such as geopolitics, such as conflicts, such as fuel prices. Now, those kind of things we don't have any control over. So from our perspective, we saw 2023 at a higher production volume than 2022 by a factor of 10 or 11%. 2022, we could have sold more at higher prices, but then there was the La Nina and there were very heavy rains. When we are looking at 2024, we do see an upswing. We have received, very thankfully, our RKABs for KPC and Arutmin. And looking at those numbers and looking at the current El Nino conditions, we are seeing the possibility of crossing 2023 volume of 78 million tons or so, and maybe increasing that by about 5% to 7% internally as a target that we have kept for ourselves. Price-wise, it's very difficult to form a view at this stage, and I can't say we have formed a view. But I would think that from revenues on 70 million tons in 2022 of 8.4 billion US dollars, 2023 would come down by about 20-25%. But we would expect 2024 to be at the 2023 level. And our effort, of course, would be to maximize that through enriching mix and to having production tailored to what markets need. So we are seeing 2024 prospects as being better on volume than 2023. And while we are seeing prices at current levels to sustain, I would not be surprised if they actually increase, depending upon various conditions over which we may not have control and are imponderables, as we have seen every year. So all in all, we are buoyant on the sector.